What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show. As always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Know that I'm a certified empowerment coach, president and CEO of Express Your Vibe Coaching Communications. And we're here right now, another Sunday evening. Most Sunday evenings for the last little while, we've had Rodney Kellum of Speak Life International, given some good thought process to fathers and men around the world, and he's been having a lot of good success recently. So we gave him last week off because it was Father's Day, so he does need some time off. But as an old song goes, he's back in the saddle again, and he's going to be chatting tonight about make like a ladder and step up this evening. How we doing, Rodney?
Doing wonderful, and it's good to be back on this platform. And as always, I'd like to say thank you to Dr. Vibe for providing this platform for me to speak life into his audience. And wherever, however you're going to be watching this and hearing this, I want to thank you for tuning in. And again, I give a big salute to my buddy, Dr. Vibe.
Well, big salute to you back. How was Father's Day for you, by the way?
It was just full of fatherliness. So just spending time with my family and playing with my children, getting in the swimming pool. It was just good to just forget about everything else and just be with them. The reason why I am what I am. I became a fatherpreneur. I came to, understand what Speak Life is and why it's my purpose. They drive me. They are my inspirations. And so I always need to be, plugged back in with them as daily reminders of why I'm here on this earth. And I always have a saying, you're here on earth on purpose, for a purpose. And they help me find mine.
Nice. Any more successes to celebrate since the last time you were with us?
So we had the Dad Factor event, followed by, I was a vendor at the Atlanta Fatherhood Expo, put on by Fathers Incorporated. That was an amazing event at Greenbrier Mall here in Atlanta, on the southwest side of Atlanta. It was so many fathers, so many people who support fathers. And contrary to popular belief, there are plenty of women that are rooting for fathers out there. Absolutely rooting. They want to see men succeed. They want to see men in their children's life. And I got to meet quite a few of them. And it was very refreshing, meaning it's their profession to help men be present and engage with their children and support them in those things. So it was very refreshing to see that. And just behind the scenes, again, working on creating another event or events and making them bigger and better.
Excellent. I'm just going to jump on to or tag along to the point that you said in regards to a lot of women supporting. For those who may not know, full-time I work at Canada's only facility that is a father-focused family center. So when I speak to women about this, they go, it's so needed, it's so necessary. So, and I say so too much, but a lot of ladies get it. Contrary to belief that there may be a thought process out there that like women think men are this, that, and the whole thing. There's a lot of ladies out there that know the value of what Rodney's doing, what myself is doing, other individuals out there that are doing this work. So it's great to, as I say so again, it's great to know that there is support out there on both sides.
Yeah.
Excellent. So tonight, as I say so again, tonight we're going to be chatting about another great conversation piece, make like a ladder and step up. You know what I should do? I should actually put a little cup here. Every time I say that two-letter word, S-O, I should put money in the coffer here. So maybe I'll start that off. Rodney, what do you want to chat about tonight in regards to make like a ladder and step up? Why did you come up with this title?
So, a lot of the theme of this Speak Life series, this Manhood series, has really been a few things at the core of it all. And helping people reject their mediocrity, embrace their greatness, which is going to be another topic coming up. But really getting uncomfortable, because it's going to take you being uncomfortable to become what you must become. Meaning the thing that the purpose that God put you on this earth to be and to do. And if you're not that already, you're going to have to do things almost completely different or a lot more of than what you're currently doing. And so making like a ladder and stepping up, the ladder is a great visualization of how each rung that you climb brings you higher, brings you higher, brings you higher. And if you have if you're like me and you're a person who has vision, meaning you can't stop thinking about the future and your purpose and how to serve or that next goal, and it drives you, sometimes it wakes you up out of your sleep, then you need to listen very closely to this conversation tonight. Is that, maybe you're stuck in a few different areas of your life. Let's say career, let's say health and fitness, and let's say finances, right? They don't always all correlate, but they do tie in together because it takes a certain mentality to have success in all of them. And so I'm going to start with health and fitness because I have talked about that several times on this platform. And I've been celebrating a small success is that I've been on a weight drop journey, not a weight loss journey, because if you lose something, you look for it, try to get it back, right? I don't want it back. But on a weight dropping journey. And so I was in a place where they had a scale, and I don't really focus on measuring myself. I focus on the size of how much I've shrunk the size of my stomach. I said, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and weigh myself. And the last time I weighed myself, I was down from 285 to around 275. And then I got on the scale and it said 265. I said, really? Really? I'm 265? And I'm 15 pounds away from my numerical goal. And when I started this years ago, I was 315 pounds. So it really just made me say, you know what? I'm doing something right. And I'm getting there quicker and quicker now because of some of the changes I continue to make. And I bring up this story to really encourage people that look at me, oh, you're 6'7", 315 doesn't look good on you. Look, I was fat. I was the kind of fat where you lay down at night and you're not comfortable because there's so much weight on your chest, you can't breathe, you got to turn on your side or put pillows and sit up and sleep. I was that kind of fat. Or you go bend down to tie your shoe and you can't bend straight down, you got to go to the side and take a deep breath before you go tie your shoe. I was that kind of fat. I was the kind of fat where my left artery was almost closed when I was about 26, 28 years old. Almost died. I was that kind of fat. So hear me clearly. And knowing that I didn't want to leave my children with nothing, no memories of me, no inheritance, those are one of those things that, I've got to do something different. I've got to get uncomfortable. I love my bacon in the morning. I used to love my soda, and I say these words because food is an emotional thing. What you eat and how much you eat of it is deeply rooted in emotional ties to food and memories. So I had to get over those things. I had to get uncomfortable. I had to do things like changing my diet, removing things that I thought I loved for years. I used to be a big flag bearer for bacon. Now I can't stand the smell of pork. And I know that's radical for some people out there. What you mean no pork? See, man, I'm American. I'm North American. We eat pork for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I gave up the pork. I dropped all kinds of things, and I found healthy alternatives that actually nourish my body instead of just fill my stomach. And I'm starting here because it's a passion of mine. Because I've lost too many people in my life. I see too many people that are unhealthy and don't need to be at 22 years old and 23 years old and dying of cancer and strokes and heart attacks in their early 30s, leaving their children as orphans in their early 30s, not in their 60s and 70s, but their early 30s. And something's wrong with this picture. So it's time to step up. It's time to make like a ladder and step up. And I'm starting there because you got to be alive. You have to be living and healthy to go after your dreams, your goals, to achieve things. What's the point of making $1 million if you're not alive to spend it or invest it or to pass it on? What's the point? And I hope you hear my heart. I hope you're not thinking I'm attacking you because I was the guy. I'm talking to my former self. And I'm hoping somebody catches this fire and says, dang, gum, I'm tired of being fat too. I'm tired of not being able to, chase after somebody and the insert crazy story where it takes you being physically fit to do some task, right? Emergency happens. You have to get out of somewhere fast. Are you in shape enough to get out of a building in 5 minutes? Can you carry all of your children to safety in case of a fire? These things that you don't think about because you're just enjoying your lifestyle that you're in. But I'm here to tell you, there's a scripture that's been resonating in my spirit that says, where God says to us to be prosperous and in good health, even as our souls prosper. And I think too many of us gloss over that in good health portion. Because if you're prosperous but if you're in bad health, are you really prosperous? Because prosperity is spent on medicine. Your prosperity is spent on rehab. All your prosperity and time is spent on this thing that you brought upon yourself. And a lot of the sickness and disease is stealing and killing and destroying a lot of dreams out there. And so I encourage you, whatever step that you can take, that you must move towards, whether that's a fitness goal, you know, getting into the gym or some kind of exercise regimen, or simply removing things from your diet, learning about fasting, implementing fasting. Intermittent fasting has been one of my best tools for dropping bad fat. It hasn't been crazy diets or fads or doing crazy workouts. I haven't had to become a CrossFit guy. Intermittent fasting, dropping certain foods, my triggers. I know what my triggers are. Learn what your body tells you by fluffing up. Whenever I would eat too much bread, too much gluten, I'd get moobs. For those that don't know, that means man boobs. Little A- cup will just pop up. I said, you know what? I'm tired of having man boobs. I'm tired of wearing my A+, A- cups. Not my thing. So my body would say, hey, this is what's causing you to gain quickly. Stop doing that. And I would find alternatives. It doesn't have to be a miserable lifestyle, right? You can find some incredibly tasty, wonderful foods out there that taste better than the bad stuff you eat now. And it'll be crazy. Once you do about 2 weeks, the craving for the bad stuff goes away, and you become a new person. And then one thing will lead to another, and people ask you, hey, what is that you're eating? It looks good, smells good, smells better than my this and that. And like, yeah, it does, and it is. And your body's going to thank you for it, all right? So I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on to, let's say that it's your career. It's your dream. It's that thing that you were born with that nobody can do better than you. Nobody can be you better than you. So therefore, nobody can do it better than you, right? For my thing is being inspirational, helping people find their inspiration, which in my opinion goes beyond motivation, which can run out, ebb and flow. But if you can find your inspiration, that thing that keeps the fire burning and nothing can quench it, I've done my job. That's my thing. What I want you to take a few steps. Find your thing. One. All right? You have to find whatever that thing is. Whether it's speaking like me, whether it's cooking, dancing, sewing, making clothes, being an organizer, being administrative, whatever that thing is, making greeting cards. Everybody's got a thing. If you think it's small, you're wrong. If your thing costs 1 cent and you sell 12 billion items of that 1 cent thing, guess what? You're wealthy. It could be worth 1 cent, but if you tap into the right group of people, you become a wealthy, influential person. Trust me and believe me, it happens every day. Every day. Why not you? So that dream that you have, find your thing, and then get to writing. Get to actually physically writing and or typing. Writing and typing is better because what happens is when you see the thing that's in your imagination, when it becomes physical on paper or on your computer, something happens to where your mind, your subconscious mind takes over because it can't tell the difference between reality and what's not reality. And it thinks of ways to make things come to pass. I promise you the way that the Dad Factor event happened was because I was tired of trying to figure things out. I wrote down what I wanted. I prayed, I said, how can I make this happen? I changed my language from, man, why won't this happen for me? How come everybody else is talking? Why can't? How come? Who, what, where, and why? To asking the right questions. How can I make this happen? Who can I partner with? And something amazing happened. I started finding the right kind of organizations and people to make things happen. And a great, amazing event transpired from it. A life-changing event. One of many to come. So find your thing. Get to writing, meaning strategic writing. You're going to write down what your vision is, your big vision, the end-all, be-all vision. Then you're going to write down some of the main components. In order for this big vision to happen, I must do this, this, and this by these dates. If you don't put a date or a timestamp on it, it remains one of those one-day things. Oh, one day, I'm going to buy me a ranch with a couple of steers and colts, and I'm going to get her done. It's just a one-day thing. But when you put timestamps on it, you can't run no more. Because people are going to, all of a sudden, people are going to start asking you out of the blue questions about your vision. Hey, weren't you talking about this thing before? And now that you've written down, hey, by September 2020, I've got it. Yeah, man, by September 2020, I'll make this happen. And what's going to happen is, people say, I know somebody who works in that field. The vision has room for other people because other people want to be a part of something great. When I say great, that thing inside of you is great. People want to be a part of something great, and they'll do it for free often. They won't ask you for any money because they got something on the inside of them that needs to be woken up. Your gifts aren't only for you. Your greatness isn't only for you. Don't be selfish and keep it to yourself. You may prosper of it. You may make profits off of it, but it's not just for you. It's for people you've never met, that you may never see, that you may never hear. You may never know their names, but they'll be sitting in a room somewhere, in a home somewhere, inspired because you made a decision to move forward, to write down on a piece of paper, by September 2020, I will have accomplished blah, blah, blah. In 3 months, I will have accomplished blah, blah, blah. You've got to do it. And then the third step in that ladder is you have to take action. You have to create a list where you're going to create a list of people to call and email and follow up with on a regular basis. There's a saying with a lot of people in the entrepreneurial world, the fortune is in the follow-up. You have to follow up on what you said. You have to take action. Right? So I've talked about health and fitness. I've talked about that one thing. And now I'm going to talk about people that work in the 9-to-5 world. You have a W-2 job in America. I don't know, Dr. Bauer, they do W-2s in Canada. But if you get taxes taken out of your check, right? You have a 9-to-5 or an 8-to-4 or a 10 to midnight, whatever you work, right? And that's your thing. Everybody's not an entrepreneur.
Right.
Everyone is not meant for that. But I want you to rethink work. I still work in the W-2 world. Don't get me wrong. I still work hourly jobs. When I understood, when I went through all my getting let goes and layoffs and terminations years ago, I realized that I'm not just an employee. They call me an employee because that's the structure of their industry. But realistically and honestly, I am a business that they agreed to pay to provide a service. You may not be a traditional entrepreneur where you go out on your own, you're the boss, you're writing paychecks or whatever it may be. But if you think of yourself as a business, you create more intrinsic value in yourself. And what will happen, what will start to happen is, because you intrinsically have more value, meaning you value yourself, it's going to be impossible for the people around you and those that employ you not to see it. They're going to say something about that guy, man. The way he works. Because you're going to have a different attitude. The owner of a company tends to have a different verbiage and attitude about the company he created than somebody who started off in the mailroom as a favor to their uncle. They may not care as much. They may not have as much passion about this, let's say DHL. Right? Whoever started DHL is definitely more passionate about the company than maybe the janitor who works 2 nights a week, right? But however, if you say I'm working at DHL and they've contracted me as my name, Rodney Incorporated, to do this job, you're going to do it with more pride and passion and fervency than the traditional person was. And your energy is going to get you noticed a lot quicker. So if your goal is to be promoted, if your goal is to get a raise, if your goal is to move to a different position with a different company, these things work. That's what you have to put into action. And personal development will go a long way, meaning you have to read, you have to study your craft. Find at least one book, one author, one online or in-person mentor that's great at what you do. And listen to them over and over and over again. Apply what they're saying. Become more valuable. So if there's anything that I get across tonight, it's find your thing, write it down, take action, and follow up. Find your inspiration so that those days that you're going to be exhausted, and I mean, if you have children, you go, life comes at you, car accident, you got a ticket, you hurt your toe, you stubbed your pinky toe on the corner of the bed, whatever that thing is. You're tired of your diet, you want to cheat, you want a big fat juicy steak, and finish it up with some peach cobbler and some ice cream. You're feeling tired. You may be suffering from depression. You may be going through some really tough times. You may have lost somebody in your life. You and your spouse may be going through it. You may be a divorcee, or you may be divorced. You may be a widow or a widowee. That's the right word. You might be going through it, and everybody does. But I'm telling you, if you plug into your inspiration, that thing, that one thing, or multiple things that don't let you quit, you're going to persevere, even when it hurts, even when you're tired enough to lay down and die because you're exhausted, even when you're thinking horrible thoughts. If you have that one thing and you just focus, allow it to take you to that place of focus, that one path. Don't get distracted. Tune it all, everything else. Take a moment every day of your life, in the morning, at lunchtime, at night, and focus in on that one thing. And say, I'm going to. Speak things as though, that they're current, even if they're not in existence. I say, I am statements. I am walking in my purpose. I am so glad I made that decision to become somebody who inspires and influences. I'm so thankful that I get to speak life into people. I'm so thankful and grateful that even though I may be at a job I don't like, that I bring joy to this place. You can completely change your world by changing your vocabulary, because you're focused, you're inspired. You've made like a ladder, and now you're stepping up. Step up. Get so uncomfortable that people around you start either deciding to stay with you or get away from you because you're uncomfortable. You make them see their mediocrity. My wife and I were having that conversation just the other day. I said, the reason why some people don't stay in our life is because we make them uncomfortable. We've made changes in our diet. We think entrepreneurially. And when we say these things just naturally, when they come out of us, you can see they have this look in their eye like a puppy who hears a strange sound like, "Whoop. What you mean you don't eat pork? What you mean you don't do this? What you mean you work so much? What you mean you're doing that too?" It's so foreign and alien to them because they've not renewed their mind. They don't think like us. And at one point in time, we didn't think like we thought now. But we stayed around people that made us uncomfortable, and now we've grown to places and into people that look so much different than we did 10, 15 years ago. Good. Be that person. It's worth it. It is worth it. Yeah. What makes you feel good is when you hear a thank you from somebody you never saw it coming from. Somebody you may have thought of as a mentor or above you, and they see you going after your greatness. They're going to be, "Hey, I've been watching you online, and I just want to say thank you for what you do, that work you do. Oh, man, it's so encouraging and inspiring. Keep doing what you're doing," because you think nobody's noticing. And I'm here to tell you, one, don't do it with accolades, but it's going to come at the same time. And it's going to fill your spirit. You're going to know you're doing something right. You're going to start thinking again, well, what else can I do? How else can I inspire? How else can I make a difference? How else can I create this business and change someone else's life? So I hope you get this inspiration tonight. I believe that somebody's going to hear this Dr. Vibe and see this show tonight and be inspired, just even by you, by my words, to do something amazing, to get uncomfortable, to go physically to places they've never been, emotionally as a person that they've never been, physically as a person that they've never been, right? Speak with a deep voice when you're in shape. It's in you. Let it out. And so I want to close out by saying thank you to Dr. Vibe for providing this platform once again. I want to say thank you to you for tuning in once again to the Dr. Vibe Show. I want to say thank you for your most valuable commodity on earth, which is your time. Because once you give away that time, you will never get it back. And I thank you for giving me just a little bit of it. I truly appreciate that. And I hope you'll tune in next week or whenever we do this again, Dr. Bob, for the next edition of the Speak Life Manhood series. And women, I hope you're getting something out of this too, because inspiration is for everyone. I hope you take this inspiration, share it, share this video, share this post with your social media circle, because somebody needs to see and hear this. This could save a life physically. This could save someone's career. This could push them in the right direction. Please share this, comment, like it, tweet it, everything on Instagram, double tap heart. However you're going to get this iHeartRadio. I know Dr. Bob is everywhere. Wherever you're hearing and seeing this. Share it multiple times. Somebody needs this. Help me save a life. Help me inspire. Help Dr. Bob do the work that he does. It's needed. And I'll stop.
No problem. Well, Rodney, thank you so much for sharing. As usual, I have a few comments, or conversation pieces to come back with you at. You communicate with many different men in different stages and journeys of their life. What are some of the common things you're hearing back from them on what's preventing them to step up?
Oftentimes, it's the partner they have, the spouse or wife or girlfriend or ex that they have in life. Having a very supportive partner is invaluable. And so for the men that don't have that, I want you to just echo what I just spoke about, which is focusing in on that one thing. And I know so many men that are going through the issue of, the mother of their children doesn't let them be in their child's life, or they're making it very difficult for them to make that happen. I hear that story all so often, and I feel empathy, a great amount of empathy for you, because thankfully my wife and I are together. We raise our children together. But I know so many men that are going through that tough time, that heart-wrenching time of having to fight to be in their child's life. And it's a sadly too common story, but I'm telling you, I know and I've seen the success stories. And it's so very worth it to fight to be in your child's life. Whether it's financial, take the advice I just gave to grow your finances. Whether it's emotional, become the person, study, renew your mind, listen and learn to become emotionally available to your children and to your family. Get on that spiritual journey. Learn the Word. Get in the Word. Practice what you preach and what you've heard preached. Apply it in your life. Because men, this has been on my heart for quite some time, is that as we go, society and culture goes. I know it's not the right politically correct thing to say that it's on men. And if you really look at culture today, how much pressure and how many things have been forced upon women. Forget about the debate topics of the day on the news, that women have had to take over because for many reasons, and this is not a beat-up session, for many reasons, men have been pulled away from families. Right? There's some systems in place. The men probably on the show coming up at 8 o'clock are probably going to talk about some of these systems. But it's time to make a rough, tough, and difficult decision to say, no matter what, I'm going to lead. And I hope that you get this lesson before you have children. But if not, if you've already, you're going through these struggles, it's worth it. It is worth it. Your children, being present and engaged in your children's life is worth it. And I hope this message tonight encourages you to keep on fighting without malice, but out of love, because it's worth it.
Excellent. I'll just add on one thing, one of the many things that Rodney shared. We talked about personal development. One of the things that I do is periodically I will write down 5 areas where I need to up my game or step up. And what I do is I spend an hour each day focusing on one of those areas. And I don't let any emails interrupt me. I don't let any phone calls interrupt me unless it's an absolute emergency. I dedicate 1 hour, 5 days a week to one of those areas. If it's leadership, some of the things I do is I watch TED Talk videos. You know, if it's finances, I'll listen to financial experts or have a phone call with a financial expert. So pick the top 5 that you need to step your game up, men, and dedicate 1 hour a day. And I almost will guarantee if you do that for 2 months, you're going to see significant positive change in your life.
Hallelujah.
So that is, I'll just add on, just put on some syrup to all the pancakes that Rodney just laid down tonight. Rodney, if people want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
You want to get in touch with me. You do. And if you're on social media, my handle on Twitter and Instagram is @fatherpreneur, like entrepreneur, with a father in the front. Please check out the website, speaklife.online, where you will also find these videos from Dr. Vibe and other inspiration and photos and videos. Speaklife.online. Email me if you're interested in bringing me in as a speaker with your organization or group. Rodney at speaklife.online. That's my email address. And yeah, so I got my websites, I got my social media, and Facebook. Rodney of Speak Life, Rodney Kellum of Speak Life. That's my Facebook fan page, where a lot of attention is going to be paid there, putting more inspirational content. It is the best way to find what I'm up to. That page is the best place to find out what Rodney Kellum has going on next. Rodney Kellum of Speak Life, inspirational speaking. Rodney Kellum of Speak Life, my Facebook fan page, is the place to go. Like it, follow it, drop me a message. I will return the message.
Excellent. It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show. If you want to watch replays of my epic YouTube conversations, you're at the place. Just go to YouTube and put in the search engine, DR period space VIBE space SHOW. If you want to listen to audio replays of my epic conversations, you can go to my website, drvibeshow.com, Stitcher Radio, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Google Play Music Store. You can also catch selected audio replays at thegoodmenproject.com and WJMS Radio out of New York. I am a certified empowerment coach, president and CEO of Express Your Vibe Coaching Communications. If you'd like to book a complimentary session with me, you can go to the website, my website, and go to the top, click on Contact Dr. Vibe Show. It'll give you 3 ways to contact me right there at my website: audio, video, and email. Also, you can do it at my Twitter handle at drvibeshow.com, email address dr.vibe at drvibeshow.com. I'm a brand ambassador for the only online magazine dedicated to African Americans in food, wine, and travel. The name of the magazine is Cuisine Noir Magazine. The website address is cuisinenoirmag.com. If you're a business or entrepreneur looking to get media promotion, I operate a service called Getting Media Coverage. And what we do there is help businesses and entrepreneurs get media promotion so they can elevate their business, product, or service. And finally, Monday nights, most Monday nights now, I, in collaboration with the Good Men Project, I'm hosting a series of conversations called You, Me, and CTE. And for those who don't know what CTE is, it is a brain affliction, yes, that happens to a number of pro athletes after, either during or many after they finish their professional or amateur sports career. And a number of American football players have either suffered from it, and some have died from as a result of it. There are a number of the conversations I've just put up recently on the Dr. Vibe Show website, and they're getting a phenomenal response. Absolutely. And we interview mainly women, and women who've had husbands that have passed away, and then women who've had sons pass away from CTE. It's a very, very hot and big topic. Just don't think National Football League and Professional Football League. Brain injuries can happen to our young people. And there's a growing movement now in the United States wanting contact football not to start until young people are 14 years old. And believe it or not, now there are more young people playing flag football in the United States than contact football. So there you go. I'd like to end it off with 3 things as always. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Next up, sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. And finally, block assumptions. Like always, I like to say, God bless, peace be well, keep the faith. I'd like to thank Deborah Jackman, for watching the conversation live. Thanks for making it an epic conversation. God bless. Peace. Well, keep the faith. We will see you next week on another epic conversation on the Speak Life Manhood series. Good night, all.